is no room for that limiting belief to survive within you because you proved it wrong. Wiz drop number 156. Dig deeper. I feel like this video is going to be the realest video ever because we're talking about limiting beliefs. I was leading a session today in my mastermind group, which is all about accountability. And today's topic was limiting beliefs. We were doing so well. We were digging deep into our limiting beliefs. And when I thought I was teaching, a learning moment happened with digging into these limiting beliefs. I believe with my whole heart that a lot of times when we are teaching, we are actually learning about ourselves. There is some things that just come out of you into the open that you eventually click with. There's lessons that we know intellectually, and then there's lessons where we connect with so deeply that they give us a breakthrough. Well, that day was today for me, where I had a massive realization for me about limiting beliefs. And we know the general lessons intellectually about limiting beliefs. They're bad. They hold us down. They don't allow us to accomplish our dreams. They screw up our relationships. But we know these things on an intellectual level. We don't know these things on a deep level. And so that's what I realized today. It absolutely made me realize a lot of things. What I realized was limiting beliefs are this big fat lies. They are these big fat lies that control our dreams, that control our impact. They are not real. They are not true. And I know this is part of the intellectual lesson, but for some reason, it opened me up and I understood the lesson in a whole different view. And that breakthrough of understanding turned into anger. I was furious. I was so furious. And it's almost like I was talking to a person. That limited belief, if that limited belief at that moment was a person, I would probably fight that person because I got so furious. And the statements that came to my head were, how dare you? How dare you rob people out of their dreams? How dare you rob people out of their impact? I felt like a feeling of deception. You know when you have this feeling of injustice? You're seeing injustice and you get just so mad. That was the feeling that I was getting. And I didn't understand what was happening. Why was I feeling all these things? And I reached out to my amazing tribe. God bless them. Whenever I'm facing something, I'm always going to them. You know who you are. And it was incredible. It was incredible what I came to understand. It's finally, this thing cleared up and I understand it. And the reason I became so furious is because I wanted to change. It's because I wanted to vaporize my own limiting belief. And I finally realized my own power. And I think this is just the iceberg of this. This is like the surface of it. And it was a powerful feeling, not a paralyzing feeling. With this feeling of being furious, I am learning to also be compassionate with myself. At the same time, I am feeling determined. Now that I understand it from one perspective, I am so determined to break down all these limiting beliefs and start taking action. Because one of the things I realized, in order for us to make a limiting belief vaporize, we have to prove it wrong. For example, if your limiting belief is that you can't run a marathon, the way to vaporize it is to run a marathon. Is to prove it wrong. Because once you prove it wrong, your limiting belief is going to be clueless. Oh my God, I thought we couldn't run a marathon. And here she is, She did it. Therefore, there is no room for that limiting belief to survive within you because you proved it wrong. And so that is a way to vaporize a limiting belief. And that's the realization I had. And it was so powerful and simple in some sense. Yes, it's gonna take work because you wired that limiting belief into your mind and it has to unwire or rewire or whatever. It's going to take work. Creating the positive and strength within you and taking action to make it disappear, to prove it wrong, to finally submit this new evidence. You're no longer filling your head with evidence to put yourself down, but you are finally submitting this piece of evidence to bring yourself back up. Whew! Lord,